Okay, so I had to take William to the doctor, but I wanted to show this this particular field and what typical deer damage looks like on most fields in New Jersey that don't have huge deer pressure problems. What they do is they defoliate the leaves or the plants, and then you're left with these spindly little 2-bean pods. You know, instead of nice full 3-bean pods, down at the very bottom you're going to see 3-bean pods, sometimes 4-bean pods. And as the leaves start to turn like they are out there, they will just decimate this area here. Now this isn't so bad. It's a wet area, so the deer have time to come across the road and they can be in this area, and they can come out and they can do whatever it is that they do. You know, it's just what they do. So this field is actually pretty good. This is actually owned by a hunting club, so they're hunting the hell out of it. It is well hunted, let's put it that way. So this farm, he's going to do well on. These are not my soybeans, they belong to someone else. I'm going to have to repeatedly say that. So you got some typical deer damage. If that was all the deer damage that I would receive on my farms, then I would have all soybeans this past year. I wouldn't be doing hay. I'd be in the bean market. So I'm going to take you to a field that doesn't have a hunting presence at all. And me and Teresa here, she's reading the baby formula thing. And this farm is literally within a quarter of a mile of this farm. So anyways, so this is what a typical field that I farm will look like when I grow soybeans. Heavy housing, a lot of road traffic. These people will be hitting these deer. This is Teresa's car, there she is. And don't be too shocked, Zach, but this is what I dealt with, and this is the real reason why I quit growing soybeans, because, well, it should be self-explanatory. All right, this is deer damage, 100% deer damage, and you can see there is nothing. I mean, I can't say there's nothing here, but those beans that were over there, they were up to my waistband. These are to my knees, and I'll prove it's to my knees. There's deer shit, deer tracks. He had corn in here last year, and the corn was beaten down on the edges here. I mean, these deer are eating so much that they're that loose. They're blowing out shit like that. So this is about, I'm going to say about 10 acres, and it is surrounded by houses, so they can't hunt it in any capacity. And the deer go over into the woods there between the houses and then that old development. It's an old development. Then they come out here and they just graze it off. So I have a lot of that ground in my area that is like this. Even the large fields that are not encroached with housing and people, they are just so intense. We have a lot of people that live there that refuse to allow hunting because of the way hunters are. And I know people don't like the way I talk about hunters, but I'm telling you, it takes 30% bad hunters to ruin it for 100% of hunters. And you can have 70% of hunters that go out there and actually want to produce results on culling the deer herd. And there's guys that shoot 8, 9, 10 deer alone, every year. But when you have that 30%, and I'm going to say 30%, and it could be higher, I don't know. But I mean, here, this is no joke. This is clear across the entire field. If you think that I was joking with you, you get right there. It is just junk. And there's going to be the deer hunter that says, well, it's only one small field in a large operation. Well, I'm going to tell you, deer don't eat off of the input side of a soybean field or corn field, wheat field, rye field, barley field, alfalfa, clover, any other legume. They eat off the profit end. So when they start at the top and work their way down, the profit's at the top. You get down to the bottom, you got nothing. So his input costs into that 10-acre field, or you might as well say that he's lost 50%. It takes 90% of the cash flow, or even 95% of the cash that you put into it. You get 5% return on it. And if the deer has eaten 50% of it, it's costing you, 45%. So you've lost 45% of your input costs into that thing. It costs you 45%. So how many acres does that take to make up for that 45%? Quite a few. Now I got to make a left up here on a road, but there's another field on this very same farm. Did I miss my turn? Did I miss my turn?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think I did. Anyways, no, I did not. There's another field up here on the right that he just doesn't even plant anymore. Used to plant it, but he doesn't plant it anymore. And here's my left. But this is the field on the right. Right, not the grass. But if you look through those bushes, you see foxtail. And that field is a small field, and he had corn in it last year, and he doesn't even bother with it. He doesn't bother with it because there's nothing to bother with. If he puts it in there, it's a total loss. They'll pop the tops off of the bean right as it comes through the ground, and then that destroys the plant. You can replant it 100 times. It's just a deer food plot. Now, some people will say, well, you should probably plant that field to keep the deer out of the main part of the farm, which years ago I would have agreed to, but it's in the front, can't be hunted, so it's difficult. And the deer are so bad that they actually have to put signs up in the urban area here, or this development area where it used to be farms, so that the people that are only allowed to go 25 miles an hour don't actually hit a deer, because the damn things will jump right out in front of you. And hey, what are you gonna do? So I hope that's enough deer damage videos from me, and you can see that it is a huge problem. I've stopped at 3 different farmers' fields. I know all of them personally. They don't have a problem with me filming their fields, as long as I don't use their names, because, and one of those farmers is not Timmy Cornpicker. And, but, I don't think they're going to have a big problem with it, because, hey, it's just bringing awareness that we have a major deer problem here. And the other problem with deer is not so much, it's not the deer, it's the deer management people, Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife. They are so hell-bent on preserving the white-tailed deer that they will do absolutely nothing to get the deer into a manageable size herd. They harass hunters. I know that for a fact, because I've been harassed by the Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife when I used to hunt. Basically, the last time I was harassed by them, that was it. I wasn't going to take my boys hunting anymore, because why do I need to subject myself to those assholes? And we did nothing wrong. They just walk right up to you. I got to check your guns. Right up in the middle of the woods. They have just cause to be there because they saw an orange hat, and that is the way they roll. So they refuse to get this under control. I'm praying for chronic wasting disease. I really am. I hope chronic wasting disease comes in and destroys the New Jersey deer herd, and that will actually make hunters of people again instead of bait station people, because any of the deer that survive CWD, they will, the hunters are going to actually have to work for it. So who knows if they work or not, but CWD is, I'm rooting for you in New Jersey. Thanks for watching.